Let's see. Let's go with some chartreuse. Oh, one of my cats wants to go outside. I'm going to let the cat out here in just a second. Of course, as soon as I start live streaming, the cat wants to go outside. Come on, Bert. Let's see what I come up with tonight. Alrighty. Wow, I got 5 people. Y'all, I just turned the live on. Just got started. Just putting some lead eyes on here real quick. Just doing some X wraps. And I'm gonna go under the eyes, like this right here. Just kind of lash them on like you're lashing a couple poles together. Alright. I'm just gonna go down the, put some wraps. Oh, that is the only thing. Y'all better chill out. Cats over here wanting to do UFC. I'm over here trying to go live and tie flies. Cats wanting to start wrestling each other. Somehow I bent my little thread thing today, actually. There it goes. Sorry, y'all. Thread broke. This, for some reason, this chartreuse thread right here breaks all the time. All right. Hello. What's up, Tater? All right. I'm gonna cut a little bit of that off, and what I'm gonna do, the thread broke right there. I'm literally just gonna pick up right ahead of that, right where before it broke off, and just go right over it, and that'll just cinch that back down. You won't even be able to tell it broke. Look at that. That thread just broke again. All right, I'll tell you what. We'll go with some black. Already got black done up right here, and this black don't ever hardly break. For some reason, that chartreuse wax breaks a pretty good bit. All right, here we go. All right, we'll grab a deer tail, y'all, and put like a tail on this fly. I think we'll do kind of a shrimpy kind of. This right here only took a minute or two, I guess, to put the eyes on here. if you stick around, you'll see me tie the whole fly. So we're gonna grab a deer tail right here, y'all, and we're gonna take some white off the deer tail. So what you want to do, you want to pinch a section off the deer tail. Try to go pretty white here instead of, I don't really want any of that brown mixed in, since we're going to do kind of a, so I'm just going to pinch a section off the deer tail right here. Cut that off. So that's the section I cut off the deer tail right there. And I just kind of pull any extra little string or, you know, little pieces of tail out of there. I'm going to lay that on here, y'all. Do a couple of wraps to get it started. And then just wrap this up. Wrap it up, B. Chappelle Show. Anybody remember that? Wrap it up, B. Alright, I'm just going to go back over that a little bit. Like so. Now we'll take a black Sharpie, throw some stripes on the tail to kind of break it up a little bit, give it kind of like a little shrimpy look going on with it. And if you're first time watching, y'all, please subscribe. Tomorrow, I kind of don't want to spoil it, but I'm going to do something I've never done on my channel before, y'all. It's going to take a couple of days to do it. So a lot of times I'll go live when I'm fishing, but I really don't want to spoil it while I'm out there this time. So I probably won't go live while I'm doing it tomorrow. So you'll have to wait for the full video, but it's going to be pretty cool. All right. So we just took the Sharpie, added some black stripes on there. Now when this is in the water, the tail will kind of be out straight, you know, so it'll look a lot cooler. All right, now we're gonna throw some shrimp eyes on here. So I'm gonna turn the fly upside down, y'all. I'm using this vise just clamps to the table. It's not super fancy where I can just spin it like a lot of the fancier vices. This is just a clamp on. All right, we're gonna throw some shrimp eyes on there, y'all. So we use these right here. Easy shrimp eyes. Awesome. Thanks for subbing, y'all. Thank y'all. I got probably 500 something videos on my channel. Most of them are fishing videos, and a lot of them are giants. I'm a fishing guide down here in Louisiana, y'all. So I take people fishing. I do fly fishing and regular, you know, spinning rod and bait casts and stuff. All right. So what you want to do, y'all? You're gonna lay these on top of the hook. And it kind of splits right where the hook is. You're going to put the split of the eye right where the hook is. And now you're going to wrap these on there. These easy shrimp eyes are easy, just like it says on the pack. Easy to do. So we're going to wrap these on there. Just like that. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some Solar Res ultraviolet glue or whatever. And what it does, y'all, this stuff cures with a ultraviolet light, which I'll show you. And I'm just going to put some over that thread where I just put those shrimp eyes, just to kind of lock them bad boys in place. You don't want them spinning and stuff or messing up when you start catching 20-pound redfish. Now take a Solar Res or whatever, take a UV light. I'm not sponsored by Solar Res, but that's the kind I got. And see, UV light, put that on this glue, and it cures that glue within just a couple of seconds, y'all. It dries it within a couple of seconds. All right, so that should be good. Now we'll throw a little bit of sparkle on there just to give that tail some shine. Let's go with a little chartreuse to start with. So we're going to take some of this right here, y'all. You can see fly tying from the beginning. So we're going to take a little bit of this right here, y'all, and pull about, 3 or 4 strands. Let's see. Pull about 3 or 4 strands like that. So I've got about just 3 or 4 strands. Now I'm going to cut that like so. And now you're going to come down here. Actually, let me flip my fly back over. Hold on. All right. So I'm gonna take these 3 or 4 strands that I got, and you got your thread coming down right here. You want to wrap this up. So I'm basically halving these strands in half, if y'all can see that, over the thread. Then I'm gonna grab them, just hold them up here at top, and I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna do a couple little wraps just to get those started on there. And now, since you don't want them all at the top like that, you're gonna split them, because you had them split. You're gonna split them down to the side of the fly, and now finish a few more wraps. And that'll, if you split them like that and then wrap it, it's gonna help hold them down like that, instead of all being on top of the fly, just like that. So now we got some little chartreuse sparkle right there on our fly. Make it look, give it a little bit of shine to help attract the fish. And just for the heck of it, since this is going to be kind of a shrimpy pattern, we'll throw a little bit of pink in there also. And honestly, y'all, when these flies go in front of those giant redfish, down here in Louisiana, we catch 20-pounders common. If you look at my YouTube channel, it's full of 20+ pounders being caught all the time on a fly rod. So, when these flies go in front of those redfish, they're gonna eat it up anyway. All right, I'm gonna grab about another 3 or 4 strands and do the same thing. Uh-oh, gotta go to sleep. Gotcha. All right, buddy. All right. Yeah, you know what I did? I took a little bit of pre-workout to get a little bit of caffeine to tie some flies, y'all. I'm doing the same thing. I'm gonna get that started like that and pull those strands down to the side. Not a whole lot of pre-workout, just a little bit, just to give me some energy. All right, now we got a little bit of pink on there too, a little bit of pink and a little bit of chartreuse with our tail. All right. Now we're gonna get a piece of saddle hackle, which, good night. I don't know why they call it saddle hackle, y'all. I mean, I'm not a fly historian, but it's basically feathers. So I'm gonna take some, I got a ton of different colors. That one right there was already loose. We'll grab this one right here, volunteered for me. So we're just gonna grab a single feather right here. I'm gonna cut off this real thick part down here. So I'm just gonna cut that off. Every time I tie flies, y'all have to sweep the floor, because I'll have all kinds of stuff in the floor. I've already tied flies once today, but anybody that ties flies, I tell you, it gets kind of addicting. So I cut off a thick part of the fly, and now I just pulled some of those little furry feathers off the end of it. And I'm going to take and set this right here, just like that, and do a few wraps just to get that started. And y'all, I'm not a pro fly tyer. There's people out there that are pros at it. I haven't been doing it that long, so. All right, y'all. Now we're gonna take this and wrap this. You want to wrap it the same direction that You're gonna wrap it the same direction as you wrap your thread. Is the way I do it. And this right here, we're just giving the fly a little bit of depth, a little bit of extra, little bit of movement, and taking up some space. Really, on the fly is one of the main things I'm doing. I'm taking up some space. We're gonna take my little clamps. Take some clamps right here, y'all. Basically a fancy pair of tweezers. And do like that. My cats are over here playing. If y'all hear some noise, y'all. Cats over here playing. All right. Now, I'm gonna pull some of that back. Wrap some of that. And just for the heck of it, which is not going to matter at all, especially to the fish, I'm going to cut a few of those strands that are kind of towards the front out of the way. The fish aren't going to care a bit, actually, but I'm just doing it just to do it. To make it look cooler, I guess. Alright, so far we did the hook. The hook is a, by the way, is an Arex SA220. It's a 2/0 hook. And I put a pretty big eye on here, lead eye, it's painted lead eye. I want that fly to drop pretty quick. And so far we put the tail on there, a little bit of shine, some shrimp eyes right here at the bottom, and a piece of saddle hackle right here, just to give it a little color. Alright, now it's real easy, y'all. We're gonna throw some poofy stuff right here at the front, at the top. We're gonna put, it's called, believe it or not, y'all, it's made by Hunter Biden. It's called crack wrap. I'm not even kidding, crack wrap. So this is exclusive from Hunter Biden. This is Hunter Biden fly tying supplies right here. It's called crack wrap. Alright. So we're gonna take a little bit of this. Just a couple of inches of it. That's what she said. And cut off a couple of inches right there. We'll do a little bit of chartreuse first. The next fly we tie, I'll do something a little more natural color, but this chartreuse and white, this shrimpy stuff, the fish love it. So, all right, just gonna put a few wraps on the crack wrap to get it where it's on there, like that. And then again, we're gonna wrap this the same direction as we've been wrapping our thread. I think everything on the camera might be backwards, y'all, since I got the camera pointed toward me, so my right might be y'all's left, I don't know. Alright, we're going to wrap this around, and you want to you want to brush this stuff back. Let me get that out of the way. You want to brush this stuff back, or keep it pushed back towards the hook as you wrap it. And the same thing, I can put my little clips on there, but most of the time I don't use them on this part. See how it's wanting to, you kind of have to work to keep this stuff pushed back sometimes. Sometimes it wants to go towards the, just like right now, just want to go towards the eye, towards the front of the hook. I'll tell you what, let me take that out there. There we go. crack wrap right there where that thread is not wanting to stay pushed back at all. I'll just cut that extra. Alright. Wow, this stuff is just not wanting to. I got a little bit of a thread dam, a little bit of wall of thread right there, and it's just wanting to push this stuff towards the front. But it'll all work out and look pretty in the end, I promise you. Alright, now I'm just going to cut that off. I'm going to do a couple of wraps. Cut off this little piece right here, and then cut off some of this right here to make it look prettier. Some of that just did not want to cooperate when I was wrapping it. Just making it look pretty. Because all redfish, before they eat your fly, they pull out a James Webb telescope and they make sure that it's perfect looking before they bite it. Trust me. That's what they all do. They all swim around with little Hubble telescopes in their back fin. Alright. And if it don't look absolutely perfect, they won't eat it. Y'all know I'm just kidding, right? If that thing goes in front of a redfish, she's going to eat it like a Dairy Queen Blizzard. Alright, now we're going to put, I'm going to go with some white crack wrap now and put that right at the beginning. And then we'll shape the fly, make it look pretty, and move on to another fly. This one will be just about done. So we're going to get our Hunter Biden approved crack wrap out right here. A couple of inches of it. That's probably actually a few inches of it, but I'm just going to put some white right here at the beginning of it to kind of break up all that chartreuse. So we're just going to do some wraps on there to get it started. My cats are continuing to play. I got all the lights turned off except for this light right here, and they over here playing ninja or something. Alright. Now we're going to wrap this. See, this one's staying pushed back a little bit better. That chartreuse crack wrap was wanting to pop, poof on out. And y'all, we're going to cut all this right here in a little bit and make it look nice and fancy. I'll show y'all in just a little bit after we get this wrapped. This one's actually wrapping pretty much like it's supposed to. Alright, now we're going to do a couple little loops right here to hold this in place. Cut this off like so. A couple more little loops just to make sure it stays. We're almost done, y'all. With this fly, we'll do some more. Alright, then we're going to cross back over right here, and just below the eye of the hook, we're going to do a few loops just to get some thread up there. We're going to take our little fancy doodad right here. And this is kind of, believe it or not, y'all, when I first started tying, this thing, which is the simplest thing in the world to use now, when I first started doing it, I was like, I could not figure it out. But basically, you just put the thread on there like that, and hook it right there, which I can't see my thread. There it goes. Hold this over, y'all. Make some loops. Oh, I gotta tighten my vise. My vise has done got. Let me tighten my vise, y'all. Somehow my vise came loose. this is not the fanciest, best vise in the world right here, y'all. It's just a little clamp-on vise. Then we're gonna do the same thing. I do that a few times. So we're gonna go around, make 4 or 5 loops with that, like so. And I do it a few times, y'all, because I don't want the fly coming apart. Like I said, we chase a lot of giant fish down here. All right, we got that. I'm gonna grab some solar res right here, y'all. It's just UV. It's epoxy or glue or whatever that dries with UV light. We're gonna put some of that on those loops, just to keep that thread from coming undone. Then hit it with a UV light right here. See, UV, and that will dry that glue within just a couple of seconds, y'all. Now, just to make the fly look fancy, I'm actually going to cut off some of those feathers, just to kind of make it cooler looking. Just to kind of even it up a little bit. Same thing on the bottom right here. All right, cats, chill out. Cats over here wanting to act like they want to fight each other, I guess. They don't know what to do since I'm in here tying flies at night when they're in here by themselves. All right, y'all. So we just tied this one up. See if I can show y'all. Just a little, kind of like a little shrimpy looking thing. Got some shrimp eyes on there. Little chartreuse. Well, actually, that's a bigger size right there. This fly is a little heavier, so it'll sink down. Here, let me show y'all my. Here you go, y'all. I got a funny story with it. These hands right here, y'all. So, like I said, I'm a fishing guide down here in Louisiana. And a couple months ago, probably a couple months ago. So there's that one, y'all. I'll start on another one while I finish this story for y'all. So there's that one. I'm gonna put this one up here, and we'll start another fly. So a lot of times I have to go pick my clients up. There's a plantation. It's called Woodland Plantation. They book trips from all over the world. People come and stay there to fish, and it's down the road from me, and I do a lot of fishing trips for them. So a couple months ago, I think it's probably back in December or something, I had to go pick some clients up because a lot of times I'll go pick them up from Woodland. They'll stay down there. So I had to go pick some clients up one morning, and it was a couple of older guys, you know, probably. In fact, I'm pretty sure both of them were in their 70s. I think both of them were in their early 70s or late 60s, early 70s. And it was kind of cold that morning. It was during December. So I was wearing a hoodie, and I had my hands in the pockets of my hoodie, and I had this right here where my sleeve pulled all the way down to where my sleeve came up like this, covering it. And I had my hands in my hoodie. So I went out there to pick them up, to meet them and everything. And they walk up, I shake my hands like, "Hey, I'm Captain Shane." I pulled out. The dude stuck his hand out to shake my hand. I pulled this right here out. He grabbed it and shook it. And you should have saw the look on his face, man. It was hilarious, y'all. I sat there all morning with my hands in my pockets just to get somebody with that. And I finally got somebody. I thought it was pretty funny. All right. do another fly right here. Man, I cannot wait to get a different. This vise is old and it's just like, I cannot wait to get another vise. All right, y'all. Let's do something kind of black and purple, y'all. Black and purple is one of the best colors, at least down here in Louisiana, for redfish, y'all, as far as flies. So let's do something kind of black and purpley. All right, again, going with the Arex SA220 hooks, just a 2/0 hook. And got that on there. I'm gonna throw a little thread base right here towards the eye of the hook, y'all. Just to put the, somewhere to get the lead eyes started. All right. Cut off your little excess string. Some people will wrap the hook all the way down. If I'm going to start at this end, I do wrap all the way down before I cut it, but I want to go ahead and get the eyes put on there. So we're going to do a little black and purple, and I do got some, you know what? We'll go with the purple eyes. I was going to maybe go with a different color eye, but we'll go with the purple eyes just to be cool looking, I guess. All right. So what you want to do, y'all, you want to put the eye, the lead eye, as you can see, it's got a gap. If it's y'all's first time ever watching, it's got a gap right there. You're going to put that, basically going to lay that on the hook. You're going to do a few wraps to get it started. But when you do, it's going to shift on the hook like that. So then you want to do some wraps in the other direction to kind of get it back level on the hook. And then we'll start doing some X wraps on it. You'll see what I'm talking about. So I just done a few wraps just to kind of get it started on there, but see how it's cocked at an angle? So now we need to wrap it from the other direction. And that'll kind of pull that hook back around level with the eye, y'all. Sorry, I'm just lining up I'm not trying to give y'all a close-up shot of me or anything, because believe me, it ain't that great. All right. So now that we got it kind of level, we're just going to start making X wraps. And I don't really have a set amount I do. I just kind of do them. So I think there's enough on there, honestly. That's awesome, man. Watching me from Hawaii. Jeez. Y'all ought to come over here and do some redfishing, man. Louisiana's the redfish capital of the world. I mean, it's year round down here. If you look at the other videos on my channel, you'll see we catch giants year round. So I'm a fishing guide over here. I'm sorry, y'all. Just to let y'all know what I'm doing. Now I'm wrapping. I did a bunch of X wraps. Now I'm wrapping the bottom of this thing, as you can tell. It's kind of like lashing two poles together if you're in the Boy Scouts or anything, or lashing poles. So we're just kind of going around the bottom of it now. Just kind of hold that in place. And now we're just going to wrap. So anyway, I think I got 500 and something videos on my channel, and a lot of them are I got a lot of spinning rod and, of course, fly fishing. And, man, that's kind of my thing. I chase big bull reds all year long. And, of course, technically a bull red is considered 27 inches or above, but I really consider a bull red 20 pounds or above. So if you look at my channel, you'll see a lot of giant 20-pounders on there. All right, so we got the hook on there, and now while we have it, before we start doing everything else, we're going to go ahead and take some solar res, and I'm going to go ahead and put some over that thread and all, y'all, because I want that thread I want those eyes to be locked in place. You start catching fish, your eyes start twisting and everything, and so we're going to put that on there. Hit it with a light, little UV light. I know this light might be kind of weird, y'all. Actually, I went to Woodland Plantation today, and they asked me if I wanted, this is actually like a big magnification glass thing with a light on it. I was like, yeah, I'll take it, because they know I tie flies or whatever, and so they gave it to me. All right, so we're just went over that for a few seconds, and that, it'll finish drying. So now we're gonna take, and I think I'm gonna grab some purple deer tail and throw. Actually, just to do a little bit different, I think we'll throw some rabbit on here. This right here, rabbit zonkers or whatever. I don't know, y'all. I don't make up the names. Oh, I got a piece right here already. That one might be. It's a little long, but you know what? I'll probably just use it. We'll go with it. So this stuff, it comes like this. It comes in all kinds of colors, y'all. But it's purple. This is dyed purple, and it's already got some black stripes on there. So we'll just go with this. It's already cut. This is going to be a big old giant bull red fly anyway, so we'll just go with that. It'll be cool. It'll work. Yeah, that'll work. I got a couple of videos on my channel, but one of them that I think was back in October. I had my chest camera on. We were on a charter. It was probably October. And I found these fish. These fish were there for at least, they were there for a month or two. But for about a month, they were really there. When I say really there, they were, what it was I'm just telling y'all stories so I'm going to get that kind of started on there, y'all. Get some wraps on it. So what it was, it's out towards the Gulf of America. It's there's these islands out there around the edge of the Gulf that in fact, that's where I'm probably going tomorrow, because we got calm winds. There's redfish out there year long, all year round. And during the summer months, you'll get, of course, big bull red, or when it's warm, you get, not summer months, but when it's warm, you get bull reds and jack crevalle and everything, sharks, everything's out there. All right, y'all. So I just put some of that on there. So we were out there on a charter, and I had one guy that could cast really well and one guy that couldn't cast that well. They both caught fish, but one guy was like a stick. He could sling it. So, and what it was, y'all, I found these fish. They were there for 1 month, really good, but they were there for about a couple months. And it was a shallow flat. When the tide's out, the water's anywhere from a little bit less than a foot to maybe a foot and a half. When the tide's in, you're fishing like maybe a foot and a half, 2 feet of water. But I'm talking about, I know y'all can't see, I'm talking about giant bull reds, like, and schools of them, like 20+ pounders swimming around out there, like multiple. Like, you'll look over here, here's a 20-pounder at 12 o'clock, and you get ready to cast at that, but you look to your right and there's a 20-pounder at 2 o'clock. There were so many bull reds. Anyway, so on this video, I was filming that day because I film a lot of my charters, and I told the guys, like, all right, man, I'm gonna get you a big old honking bull red fly. So I grabbed my fly box right here, and it was one of these flies right here. I'll show it to you. So I pulled out a big, and I had my, you see this big old huge fly right here. This bigger than the one I'm tying. It's a huge fly. So I pulled this fly out, and I did like, and I got my chest camera going, so I filmed, me getting it ready, tied it on. The guy slung it out there and caught. As soon as I tied it on, here comes a 24. It was 24 pounders. He slung it out there and caught a 24 pound. Anyway, he ended up catching 2 over 24 pounds that day, and the other guy caught a couple that were, around 20 pounds. But it was a good day. All right, y'all. Let's throw. Then we'll go with some saddle hackle right here. Actually, let's put a little bit of shine on that to start with. So we'll grab some purple shine right here, y'all. Y'all, every time I get through tying flies, I got so much mess to clean up. I don't have a little, well, this is kind of my designated tying place, but all my supplies I keep in a huge Plano tackle box. So, because if I don't, my cats and stuff are going to get a hold of everything and want to play with it. So, all right, y'all, I'm going to pull off about 3 or 4 strands of this. Like so, about 3 or 4 strands of it, and cut it like that. So now we got some purple flashy stuff. What do they call it? Flashy blue or something? I don't even know. All the technical names, y'all, I don't really remember all that technical stuff. I just do it. All right. And we wrap that around the thread. And we're just going to kind of get it started right here with a couple little wraps. Just to kind of get that started. Now I'm going to pull that to the side of the fly. And put some more wraps on it. If you pull it to the side, it just kind of holds it down to the side of the fly. Like that. Just like that. And just to be fancy with it, let's throw some gold on there, y'all. I'm running out of gold because I use it. Because you cannot go wrong. Everybody knows that. Can't go wrong with gold when it comes to fish. Whether it's redfish or bass or whatever you're fishing for. Alright, so let's grab a few. Actually, I don't need that many. That'll be good right there. Let's grab a few strands of gold, y'all. Just cut that off. Alright, so we got a few strands of gold. Same thing, wrapping that around the thread like that to get it started on there. Part of it came out of my hand. Made a boo-boo. Alright, we're going to get that started on there, y'all. Same thing, we'll pull this down to the side. My cats are wanting to start playing UFC up in here. There. I've got a little gold and purple from Michigan. Awesome, man. That's somebody from Hawaii. GT, yeah. Man, I get people that fish down there all the time. Fish mostly with flies on a spinning 13-foot. Gotcha. Yeah, down here, probably the number one, and I've even done videos on this. I mean, obviously I do a ton of fly fishing, but I do a ton of spin fishing too. I got a fly fishing skiff and I got a bay boat. So the number one method down here for catching those big bull redfish is actually a popping cork. You know, so you take a cork, put a leader. You know, I actually usually go kind of deep. So I usually got about a 3-foot leader of at least, I use 30 and 40 pound, but most of the time I use 30-pound fluorocarbon, put a jig head and a plastic on there. And that's our number one method for catching bull reds, y'all. Sling that popping cork out there, pop it, make a really good splash with it, let it sit for a few seconds, pop it again. And if those bull reds are there, they're gonna smoke it. If you look at my channel, there's a ton of videos on there of us doing that, y'all. So the most we've ever had in one day was 2 years ago. It was during August. We had 32 bull reds in one day. So we had 32 that were over 20 pounds in one day. We finally just left, y'all. When I say we were catching them constantly, we were catching them constantly. We finally just got tired of, honestly, we got tired of catching fish and left. It was ridiculous the amount of fish that we were catching. And I actually found those fish on accident, y'all. I was just grabbing some saddle hackle, y'all. No, I am in Louisiana, y'all. I'm a fishing guide in Louisiana. I thought I'd tie some flies, so took a little sip of pre-workout to get some caffeine going, and just tying some fly. So we're gonna grab some saddle hackle right here, y'all, which is basically a fancy name for feathers. So we're gonna grab some feathers. But that day we caught those 32 bull reds, I found that spot on accident. I actually found it that day. So we were running from one spot, and we had caught a few a few bulls that morning already. So we already had a few 20-pound. Of course, it's all catch and release. We throw them all back. So we had already caught a few that morning, and we were running from one spot to another in the boat. And as we were coming around this corner, I saw these two huge blow-ups between us and the bank. And we weren't that far off the bank, like 200 yards maybe off the bank. And I immediately stopped the boat and I said, "Hey, y'all, that was not dolphins." So the guys jumped up there in the front of the boat with those popping cords. This was a spinning rod trip. This wasn't a fly trip. All right, y'all. I was looking for, was my PB red. Back in the 90s, because I'm old now. Back in the 90s, I caught, my biggest one was 47 inches long. It was on a gold rattle trap. We were easing down the bank, and I saw bull reds up along the bank busting bait fish. I slung that gold rattle trap out there, and he smoked it. And believe it or not, this is the crazy thing about it. I was using 10, because I had that rod rigged up for bass. I was using 10-pound fluorocarbon. I had to. This is crazy. We had to start the big motor and chase that fish down, because of course he turned and ran straight to deep water. I say deep water. Everything down here is not that deep, but he ran out towards the bay, in about 4 or 5 feet of water. So we had to start the big motor and chase that fish down. It took forever to get that fish in. Now my biggest one on a fly rod was 40. Work on getting a GoPro, and I only have time content right now, but yeah, man, that's awesome. That's awesome. Now my biggest one on fly rod was 44 inches, but I've had clients catch them way bigger than that. But my biggest one on fly rod was 44 inches, and I was filming. I was actually by myself that day. I was filming for my YouTube channel, and so it's on my channel, my 44 incher. All right, y'all, we're gonna take a piece of saddle hackle. I just grabbed a purple one, because we're doing kind of a purple and black fly. And I'm not a professional fly tyer, y'all. So if y'all see something crazy, sorry. All right, now we're gonna get this started. I've only been tying flies now for it's February now. I think I started in January, so haven't been doing it very long. All right, y'all, we got that fly started. Now I'm gonna take it. Now I've been guiding for them for a long time, and people would always ask me, "Do you tie your own flies?" I was like, "No, no, no, no." So finally, I just bought a bunch of stuff and started doing it. Take my little clips right here, y'all. We're gonna clip that on the thing, and we are going to wrap it up, B. Wrap it up. I've had clients. I've had my two biggest that my clients had caught on fly was actually, both of them were this year, and I had two 28-pounders. We caught two 28-pounders within, I think it was probably the same week actually that we caught them, and that was on that flat that I was telling y'all about, that where the guy caught the two 24-pounders in one day. But those fish were there for about 2 months at least. They were out there. I don't know what they weren't spawning. They were just there for about 2 months. All right. So now that we're gonna throw some more wraps on this, y'all, to kind of hold it in place. So far, we got the hook. Obviously, we did the eyes on the hook. We did the rabbit, little rabbit fur thing. We put some shine on there, and we just took a piece of saddle hackle, a piece of a feather basically, and put some poofiness on there. Now we're just going to throw some crack wrap right here. It's Hunter Biden approved crack wrap right here at the front of it, and wrap it up. I'm going to throw a couple of different ones. We're going to throw some black and purple in there, I think. Yeah. Maybe we'll just do some black. Let's just do some black, y'all. Wrap it up. Alright. So we're going to grab some crack wrap. I get to clean all this stuff up after we get through streaming. Ain't that cool? Alright. And we'll grab a few inches of it. This right here looks like it's all kinds of different directions. I'm going to have to mess with it. I'm going to have to mess with it while I wrap it, y'all. We'll do a few inches on this one. That's what she said. And oh, what's this for? For redfish. You know, redfish, black drum. I mean, everything will eat it, but yeah, I'm mostly tying them for redfish. Everything will eat it. You can take and turn this. You can take this fly and go catch bass, or you know, pretty much any predatory fish will eat this thing. It's got a big old 2/0 hook and all on there, so it'll should work. All right. So we're gonna take the crack wrap. We're gonna get it started right there. There we go. I had too much thread right there. That's the reason I put that many wraps on there. All right. I'm gonna wrap this up here. Just kind of let it hang out right here for a second. And now we're gonna start wrapping this crack wrap towards the eye of the hook. And this stuff, you want to keep all this, you know, shiny stuff, the actual little tentacles or whatever, towards the back of the hook. Sometimes it's a pain in the butt, but you want to kind of try to keep that stuff towards the back of the hook while you wrap it. So sometimes it's a pain, like it's trying to be right now, which I could tell whenever I cut this off it was going to be a pain. Alright, then we're just going to start wrapping it. And I'm just working my way towards the eye of the hook with the crack wrap. I might have to go with a little bit more. I might not have pulled enough crack wrap off there. What are you doing? Cat's up here trying to steal my supplies. He's a black cat. He's over here trying to steal my fly tying stuff. He's trying to sneak up on me like a ninja or something. Hold on, y'all. Some of this wrap is not wanting to do right. Alright. Yeah, I might put another little piece on there just to, it's not really wanting to do right here. Yeah. This one piece is not wanting to do right. I'm going to cut that off right here. I think I'm going to add a little bit more to it. There's too much of a gap between the hook and the wrap. My dog got a hold of one of my saddles the other day and destroyed it. I know, man. I've got dogs and cats. Luckily, the dogs are over there chilling out right now, thank goodness. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna throw a little bit of purple right here at the beginning of the fly. just a little bit. All right, this wrap's actually wrapping on there the way it should. That black was wanting to go kind of crazy on me, but this right here is wrapping on there good. Next, we might do some kind of crazy fly. Something a little bit harder, you know, to do. Not really harder, but more time consuming, I guess. And we're gonna kind of make this look prettier here in just a second. All right, now I'm just gonna go right here, put some wraps around the head of it, around the eye of the hook. What do we target? So I thought I was just saying this, but redfish is the main. So redfish, black drum, speckled trout, sheep's head. I mean, all the inshore species out here, and then I got a fly fishing boat and a bay boat. So everything I can hit with a fly boat, you know, redfish, jack crevalle, black drum, sheep. We don't really target sheep's head, but we'll catch them, you know. And sometimes I get guys because sheep's head are actually harder to catch than redfish. So my cat's over there playing, making noise. So sometimes we'll try to catch sheep's head just because they're harder to catch than a redfish is. You know, sheep's head are like little crackheads, man. They'll run up to the fly and look at it. Like I said, they'll run up, pull out the Hubble telescope, and if it don't look good enough, they won't eat it. Sheep's head are just crazy. All right, almost done with this fly. We'll do something a little bit different, y'all. So I just hit it with some glue that dries with UV light, and this is a little UV light right here. It should be about dry already. Now, these UV lights are burnt. Well, they'll sunburn your fingers, y'all. They'll actually make your skin peel just like the sun will. So anyway, there's that little fly, y'all. Just a little redfish. Got some shiny on the hiney. So there's that one. Just a real quick, simple little. This is the one we tied earlier. If you're just tuning in, we tied this one right here a little bit ago, y'all. Like a little chartreuse and white kind of shrimpy deal. We tied that one a little bit ago. This one pattern right here, y'all, with like whatever feather, or you can feathers or deer hair or whatever you want to use come off the end. Some poofy stuff right here at the beginning and some shiny stuff, y'all. You can take that one pattern style and throw different colors, and it works great for redfish. I think we'll do something a little crazy since we got some people watching. It's a time consuming fly, but but we'll tie one just to do it. Let's tie one. We're gonna tie a like a fish. So basically, this fly was something we'll use for. Actually, I'm gonna use a different hook. I'm gonna use a heavier duty, like a 3/0 hook. Hold on, y'all. So the fly we're about to tie, y'all, is used more for open water. Like for me, the fly we're about to tie, they use for like around the Gulf of America out there, when those big bull reds and Jack Crevalle. So basically, as soon as the water starts heating up, like mid to late spring, at least here in Louisiana, when that water starts heating up a pretty good bit, you get those big bull reds, the big 20+ pounders, and the big Jack Crevalle that will actually. I mean, they're out there at the Gulf now, along the islands, but they'll get out in the open water, and then you'll want to go target. You can go out there and target them in the middle of the water. I'll show you what we're going to tie. I think I got some. I got some in one of my boxes right here that I tied the other day. We're going to tie something kind of like this, y'all. This one's not my best looking one I've ever tied, but we're going to tie something like that, y'all. Like a fish. We'll tie something like that real quick. And y'all, I have a ton of flies in my fly boxes. These are spoon flies right here, y'all. So we actually, and some crabs and stuff, but we catch a lot of fish down here on the spoon flies. And then on this side, I got mostly top water stuff and all. These are, top water for big redfish and Jack Crevalle and all that. And then this box, you got a lot of, these are plantation crabs. Mad River Outfitters, Brian, the guy that owns Mad River, started this fly several years ago. And then I just got some different, all the flies on this side, I didn't tie. These are all store-bought. But now all the ones on this other side, I did tie. So I tied all these, y'all. So it's just, I got a few flies in there. All right, y'all. Let's tie a fish. It's time consuming. Takes a little bit, but we got some people watching, so let's do it. We got fly tying materials landing in my face, some hairs and whatever. All right, y'all. This is a big hook. It's a big 3/0 hook. But it's for big old giant fish, y'all. Okay. And I kind of like that sexy shad color. I call it, sexy shad like you do bass. Like, Kevin Van Dam or whatever came up with it for bass fishing. But we're going to take some craft fur right here. Yeah, 3/0. Yeah, we use, I got some smaller fly hook. Not very small. Probably the smallest size I use is a 1/0, but most of them are, when I'm, at least on my flies, are like 1 to 3/0 on my flies. All right, y'all. So on this fly, you know what? I almost messed up. On this fly, you have to do this fly in layers. You don't just put a strand here and a strand there and the fly's done. You have to build this fly, tie this fly in layers. You can use some what's it called? I got some dubbing if you want to wrap your thread in dubbing and all that stuff. I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm gonna start off with some of this, but the first thing we need to do is throw a thread wrap down through here. So right now we're gonna throw a thread wrap down the hook. just to get some thread on the hook, y'all. This fly is not going to have any weight to it at least as far, I'm not going to put any lead eyes or anything on here. This is an open water fly. When those big bull reds and Jack Crevalle are out there along the beaches, you can sling this thing out when they're schooled up out there. Of course, those Jack Crevalle, a lot of times what we do for those is I'll take a tuna popper. So a giant topwater lure, big old topwater lure, but I take the hooks off there and I'll have it tied onto a spinning rod. So when I go out there to target those bull reds and those jacks out in that open water, I'll have a giant topwater lure tied on with no hooks, obviously. And where's my battery at, by the way? Battery's at 39%. I might have to charge it up a little bit. So with no hooks on it, and basically I sling that top water out there, and I get those fish coming up towards the top. All right, y'all. So what we're doing is we're gonna take a little piece of that stuff, and I'm gonna kind of wrap it right here. And I'm just using some chartreuse just because it's got some color. And we're just gonna do some wraps on here. But anyway, you sling that top water out there, that big old tuna lure, and you get those big jack and redfish coming up, and then you sling your fly out there, and of course they're gonna smoke it. That's the easiest way. And of course, if they're coming up, like especially those jack, if the jack are already coming up, eating bait fish or whatever, you can get close enough to them sometimes to throw a fly. But what you do when you're slinging that top water with no hooks on there, you're getting those fish. Because I'm talking about fly fishing here. You're getting those jacks and those bull reds to come close to the boat, close enough to the boat where you can sling a fly out there on top of them. All right, y'all. Now we're gonna take some. I'm gonna start off with some blue. So this is gonna be the top of the fish right here. And y'all, I'm tying a fly to use. The reason I was just talking about jacks and all, I'm tying a fly to use like an open water fishing for like Jack Crevalle and bull reds when they're along the beaches and stuff. All right, so we're gonna take some craft fur, y'all. I'm gonna pull whatever extra off there like that. You have to build this fly in layers. Tie this fly in layers. But somehow it all comes together in the end. Do some wraps on it like that. We're gonna cut off that extra, y'all. Now we're gonna flip this over. I don't have one of those. This is just a clamp-on vise, so it don't spin around like a lot of those fancy vices do. And this vise is worn out. I need to get another one. All right, so we flip that over. Now we're gonna grab some white craft fur. Unfortunately, this is a little bit shorter craft fur. I ran out of my long craft fur the other day, so this is the shorter stuff, unfortunately. So it don't do as good as the long stuff. I gotta go buy some longer craft fur. All right, so we're gonna cut a piece of the craft fur. And what you want to do, y'all, you want to split this in half. the reason why I want this fur, you got your hook coming up right here. I want this fur to go on each side of that hook. That's the only reason we're doing that. We're kind of split in half. We're letting the fur go on each side of it. All right, I'm gonna do kind of like a little loose wrap to get it started. And then we'll go with some tighter wraps. Like I said, you have to build this fly in layers, y'all. So you're not just slapping one side of it on there and slapping the other side of it on there and being done. This fly is a little time consuming, but it's a really beautiful fly though when you get it done. Uh-oh, I cut a little bit of my white off. That's fine. It's a beautiful fly when you get done. Like I said, it's great for these big redfish and Jack Crevalle when they're on. Yeah, I messed up just a little bit right there, but that's fine. We're gonna cover that up anyway. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and throw some more blue on there. Throw a little bit more blue on there, y'all. Thanks for watching. I got 11 people watching. If you're first time watching, y'all ought to hit the subscribe button. I got probably 500 and something videos on my channel. Most of them are actually fishing videos. I don't have many fly time videos. I kind of just started adding the fly time videos to my channel. Most everything on there is fishing stuff. Probably 500 something videos on there. All right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead, add some more blue right here. You kind of want to keep that blue and that white separated as much as possible. Like keep it on one half, keep the blue on the top half and the white on the bottom as much as possible. I really wish I didn't run out of longer. Yep. I'm completely out of my longer white fur, but that's just the way it is. I'm gonna do one more wrap of white right here on the bottom. Whoops. I'm gonna do a wrap of white on the bottom right here, y'all, and then we're gonna start adding we're gonna add a little bit of flash to it and stuff like that. This vise, I've got to get a new vise. This thing's just getting worn out. All right, y'all, we're gonna take some more white. Try to get a big old chunk of it this time. Go a bigger chunk of it that time. Again, I'm gonna split it in half so it goes around the hook. Thank y'all for watching. Y'all can, if y'all want to leave comments or write something, I'm looking at the comments, y'all, so I can try to. Or if y'all want some more fishing stories, I can try to come up with some more cool stories. Of course, there's a lot of cool stories. If you just watch my YouTube channel, it's full of fishing videos. Instead of hearing me tell them, you can go on my YouTube channel and watch them. And you'll see this tie, you'll see this fly slowly start to come together and make a fish as I go. Come on, man, why are you being a pain? Don't be a pain. Now, y'all, I'm going to add another piece of this little chartreuse. Oh, yeah, the shark. So that little story was, that was about, that was 2 years ago now. And that couple that was on that video, they've actually fished with me now, man, 4 or 5 times. But that happened to be their first. I'm just gonna grab a little piece of this, y'all. That happened to be their first fishing trip with me ever. I'm just gonna wrap a little bit of this on here, y'all, to kind of keep that fly kind of puffed out, fat looking. And I'm just doing a little chartreuse. You really won't be able to see it, but if some of it does slip out, it's just adding a little bit more shine to the fly. That's the reason I'm using chartreuse. So that was the first fishing trip the first charter they ever went with me on. And we just happened, so we were on our way to the first spot that I was heading to. And there was a jug. People do, I don't like jug fishing. I know people have been doing it forever. I don't really like it. But there was a jug line floating in the middle of nowhere. I mean, way back in the middle of nowhere. No other jug lines anywhere around it. So these people, it was obviously, a lost jug. They done lost it, or, you know what I'm saying? There was no other jug lines anywhere around it. So, and I saw it was moving. So I figured it was, a lot of times there's like gar or catfish or something like that. But I pulled up to it, and it was that bull shark. And every time, you don't see this on the video, but the first few times, every time I would get close to the jug, it would take off. Anyway, we finally got close. I'm gonna add some flash right here, y'all. We finally got close enough to it, and I got a hold of the jug. And once I got a hold of it, I just held onto the jug, and we pulled it up, and I got them to hand me my pliers. And it wasn't a very big bull shark. He was only probably, you saw in the video, probably 4 feet, 3.5, 4 feet, I guess. Well, maybe. Yeah, 3.5, 4 feet long, something like that. All right, y'all, we're gonna grab some of this flash right here. We're just gonna, and on this, now on my regular flies, I'll just use 3 or 4 strands or something. But on these flies, I want these flies to have a little bit more flash to them, so we're gonna add a little bit more flash to them. Give these jokers some flash while they're out there. So, and anyway, I got them to hand me my pliers, and we got it set free. But we actually catch bull sharks quite regularly. Not trying to, but we catch them when we're out there fishing. Of course, we just always, we release them. I don't hurt them or anything like that. All right, y'all. I'm gonna add some flash right here, and that's gonna stay just like that. Now we're gonna add some more blue on top of that. Man, I've had probably, over the years, I've had, I think, five alligators in the boat. I think 4 or 5 in the boat from people catching alligators. I think 4. The last one was about, well, not the last one, but one of the ones that we didn't get in the boat. We pulled up to the boat, but it finally ended up breaking the line. That was a big one. That alligator was about 7 feet long, but I've had some smaller alligators in the boat. I've had like some, little 4-footers and stuff that people accidentally catch when we're out there fishing. And usually I just get them in, um, get their mouth. Yeah, alligator. I think it tastes like chicken, but I haven't eaten it in a long time. But people eat it down here all the time. So now, y'all, we're gonna take and put some more of this blue right here. Like I said, this fly is a lot of layering, y'all. It's a time-consuming fly to tie. And see that little bit of shine? It's in there, and of course you can see it good whenever it's in the water. But anyway, the first alligator I ever had in the boat actually has. I'm from Georgia, y'all. So I live in Louisiana because I guide down here full time, but I'm from Georgia. So the first alligator we ever had in the boat was actually I had some buddies of mine down from Georgia, and this was on July 4th weekend. This has been several years ago now. Yeah, several years ago now. So it was 4th of July weekend. They came down, and we went out bass fishing, and I mean everything. You know, down here, if you're in certain areas, you catch everything: bass, redfish. You catch them all in the same area. So we were catching a ton of bass and redfish, and we were back in this pond. The name of the area we were fishing is called Delacroix. I mean, if it's Delacroix is a famous area down here. I mean, well-known area in Louisiana, this part of Louisiana for fishing. So we were in Delacroix, and we were back in a pond called Little Oaks Pond. Actually, is where we were at. I'm just getting some more white, y'all, and we were catching tons. I mean, we smoked. It was hot. 4th of July weekend, and we smoked the fish, y'all. I don't even know. We fished for 3 day 3 day. They got here that Friday, and I didn't think we were gonna go fishing until the next day. But they said, let's go fishing. We started fishing Friday after lunch, and y'all, we smoked the fish for 3 days straight, catching everything: bass, redfish, everything. Anyway, we were back in this pond called Little Oaks Pond, and oh really? Alligators some of the favorite to eat only behind redfish. So tomorrow, y'all, I'm probably gonna do something on my channel. I really don't want to spoil it, but just stay tuned. So it's got something to do with all that, actually. All right, y'all, again, we're going to split this right here up. It's something I've never done on my channel, but I've been wanting to do a long time. So, all right, y'all. Anyway, so we're back in Little Oaks Pond in Delacroix, and my buddy slung, I can't remember what he was fishing with. We were catching the heck out of fish. He slung a lure over there. It was a bunch of matted grass and an alligator. He wasn't real big, about 4 feet long or so. Grabbed the lure. He said, man, what are we going to do? I said, I'm going to get my lure back. So we were in a bass boat, actually. We were in a bass boat, Blazer bass boat. So I trolling motored as close as I could over there towards the bank and that matted grass where the alligator was. I got over there as close as I could, and the alligator kind of got wrapped up in that matted grass and everything. So I got over there to him, and I grabbed a rope and I slung a rope over his head, over the alligator's head, and kind of lassoed his mouth shut. And then I know it don't look like much right now, y'all, but it's going to come together, and this is going to be a fish here in just a little bit. I'll just have to trust me. So anyway, slung a rope over the alligator's head and pulled him up, grabbed his mouth, shut his mouth, and this is all on camera, by the way. We took a video of it. It wasn't a very good video because my buddy took it with an iPhone and he sent it to me, so it didn't come anyway. And I took a pair of pliers, unhooked the hook, held the alligator out, took a picture of it, and threw it back in the water. But yeah, over the years I've had 4 alligators I know in the boat, and that 7-footer that we couldn't get in the boat. He finally broke the line. All right, now y'all, I'm gonna throw. I think I'm gonna throw one more thing of blue right here. I think. Yeah, we'll do one more little bit of blue right here, and then some shine, a little chartreuse shine. And then we're going to add some chartreuse and some white and finish the fly off like that. You'll see what I'm talking about in here in just a second. The end, when you get towards the end of this fly, it's a little different than the rest of it. It's just a little bit stuff you do a little bit different right towards the end of the fly than you do on the rest of the fly, and I'll show you. All right, y'all. I know it's late. Thank y'all for watching. For some reason, at night is when I want to get in here and tie flies for some reason, you know. I could be doing this all day, and sometimes I do it during the day, but for some reason, a lot of times I get in here and I start tying them at night. I know it don't look like much right now, y'all, but it's going to come together. Make a fishy. And like I said, this fly right here, in case y'all weren't watching, this is a fly that I use down here in open water for big bull reds and Jack Crevalle. Like when the water heats up and they move out towards the beaches. That's what I use this fly for. And the belly I know is not perfect, y'all. I ran out of my long crafting fur. So I'm having to use short crafting fur, which don't look as good as the long. Come on. This vise. Alright, y'all. I'm going to do a little bit of white right here. We're getting close to being done with this fly. I wish I wasn't out of the long crafting fur, but I am. Can't do nothing about it. Have to use this shawty. This shawty fur. Fish in the Blind River area, usually over the past few years, have been getting too much salt water. And this is so small. Yeah, I guess I'll still split around the hook just to do it. But so you want to kind of split the fur in half and go around the hook, but it's such a short piece. It's not going to matter much right here. I'm probably going out tomorrow, y'all. I'm supposed to have good weather the next couple days. It's been cold and windy here a lot. It rained pretty much all day yesterday, and a lot of today it rained. But the next couple days is actually, I'm not booked. I don't even have charters, but the next couple days the weather's supposed to be really good, like sunshine and hardly any wind. So I'm gonna try to go fish the next couple of days and just fish and film, film for the YouTube channel. And I think I got charters. I think I got charters this weekend. I think the weather's supposed to be pretty good this weekend. I'm booked this weekend. All right, y'all. Now, I swear I gotta get another vise like soon. This thing's driving me crazy. All right, now what we're gonna do, y'all, I'm gonna take a piece of saddle hackle and run it down each side of this fly. And what that's gonna do is gonna kind of break. It's gonna kind of give it like a fin kind of like looking thing down the side of it, and it's going to separate, it's going to help separate that blue and that white right here. So I got tons of saddle hackle, y'all. I got all the lights off except for this one right here. So here we go. Wait, do I have it out already? I might have used that saddle hackle. Yeah, I did. It's right here. I used it earlier on another fly. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna grab this saddle hackle. A really weird name for feathers. I don't need that one. And I'm gonna kind of use this chartreuse and this chartreuse saddle hackle. Saddle hackle. I just call it, it's like feathers, basically. That's actually a good one right there. See how that one's got some black in it? We'll use that one. I kind of want another little thin one with some black in it, like this one right here. All right, y'all. Now we're getting jiggy with it. So we're gonna cut off. Obviously, we're not gonna use that whole feather. We're gonna cut off a piece. So what you want to do, and I know it's hard to, you're gonna measure this to the side of the fly. So I'm gonna measure this to this side first, since I'm on this side, to where it runs down. Actually, that one's a little thick. Let's see if I can find a thinner. This one right here, this one's a little thick. I'll do this one, I'll grab another thin one. All right, so that'll probably work about right there. So I'm just kind of measuring it, running it down, and then we're gonna cut just up from where I measured it and cut that off. So now I just got this little piece right here, y'all. And I'm gonna flip the fly out here in a second. You'll see what I'm doing. And actually, that's a little too much. Whenever I get done tying, I always have all this mess to sweep up, y'all. All right. Flip this over. I'll find another. These feathers are starting to fall apart from where I've picked through them, getting the exact ones I want to get when I'm tying flies. This one right here worked. I just saw one. This one will work right here. Alright, y'all. Oops, I accidentally broke off two, but that's fine. Alright, so I'm gonna grab another one. Again, I'm gonna measure it out. Cut off that extra. That'll work right there, I think. Yep, that'll work. Not my best keeping it pretty job I've ever done right here. That is for show. It'll work, but it's not the prettiest I've ever tied. Alright. We're getting close to being done, y'all. Let me grab all this stuff before it flies everywhere and put it up, y'all. Thank y'all for watching, man. I appreciate it a lot. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, y'all. I've had the channel for, I don't know, man, a few years now. And y'all, let me tell you, I'm not one of those rich YouTubers. I have literally got one check from YouTube. And I've got, whatever, a couple thousand subscribers, 500 something videos. You know how much my check was for? $105. 500 something videos, I made $100. Woo! That's what you're talking about, some profit. Profit right there, baby, for all that hard work. Alright. So if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, watch some more videos. Because that's how YouTube pays you, is by hours, you know, by time watched, you know, basically views, by views. So the more views you get, the more money. That's why some of them dudes like Mr. Beast or whatever that get millions of views, you know, they're balling. But I'm not one of them. I'm not Mr. Beast, and I don't look good in a bikini, so I haven't made much money on YouTube. All right, I'm just adding a little bit more white right here, and then we're going to throw some chartreuse on here to kind of finish it up. Yeah, not my best fly I've ever tied, but probably because I'm doing it on camera. And I'm out of my long. The biggest thing is I'm out of my long white fur. I've only got this short stuff, and it don't work as good. All right, y'all. Now I'm gonna grab a little bit of chartreuse flash. If you're just joining, this fly right here is for like open water. I use it down here for like open water redfish and jack crevalle and all that, but you can use it for everything, you know, bass, or people using them for muskie and pike and all that stuff. All right, we're gonna grab some chartreuse. Basically, any predatorial fish that eat smaller fish, will eat this fly. All right, y'all, we are almost done. Now we're gonna get to the fancy part. Are old flies worth anything? Um, I don't really know. I mean, people sell flies all the time. If you go on eBay I mean, eBay's a really good place, but eBay and Etsy, I've bought fly. I haven't bought any off Etsy, but I bought them off eBay. I mean, if you go on eBay and put in fly fishing, whatever, there's so much fly fishing stuff on eBay, and people sell old flies. They sell fly boxes. They sell old fly rods. Anything, anything with fly fishing attached to it, the name fly fishing is going to cost some money, y'all. I mean, fly fishing, it's just expensive, y'all. Guys spend a lot of money. I mean, um, the rods I use Orvis Helioses, and those rods by themselves are just under $1,000 without the reel. They're $998. That's not with that, without the reel. So, uh, you know, anything with fly fishing attached to it is going to be some money. You know, throw the name fly fishing on anything, it's going to be expensive. All right, so now we're going to take some chartreuse 40s and 50s. Wow, I'm sure they're probably collectible, man. People collect and do fly collections. People frame old flies. Um, so yeah, I'm sure somebody would buy them. I'm not really. I mean, I wouldn't be able to appraise them or anything. I'm not like a pro at all that, but so we're gonna take some chartreuse right here, y'all, and we're gonna do something a little bit different. I'll show y'all a little trick. I think I'll throw a little chartreuse. No, I thought about throwing a little chartreuse on the bottom, but I probably won't do that. I'll just put some on the top. All right, y'all. So we're gonna. How was the red fishing in March out of Port? Hey, man, out of Port. So, oh, it's Mr. Allen. Hey, Mr. Allen. Mr. Allen, I got. Golly, probably on my hard drive right now. One of my hard drives. I think I got 5 or 6 SD drives on my computer that I use for editing. I probably got 11 or 12 videos from that trip y'all did with us, and it's good, man. I got so tomorrow, if you want to get down here tonight, I'm off the next couple of days, and it's supposed to be like really low winds and sunshine. So I'm probably going tomorrow and Wednesday by myself. And we were out there at those islands catching all those redfish and stuff. Well, they're still there. Of course, there's a lot of redfish inshore right now, inland in the marsh and stuff. But we've had a lot of rain and high winds the past week or two. So I'm probably going out to the Gulf tomorrow to fish, because those fish are still there. And in fact, I don't know if we fished. Yeah, we fished. I don't know if you was with us that day or not. Anyway, one of those islands that we fished out there when you were here, Mr. Allen, has been loaded all winter long, and I mean loaded. Me and another guide went out there. I don't know, a few weeks ago. I'd have to look at my YouTube channel. I filmed it a few weeks ago, whatever it was. We were both off that day, And we pulled up to the island. I pulled up on a shallow spot. We kind of got everything ready, to fish. And after we got everything ready, he jumped. He fished first, so he jumped up on the platform on the front, and I got on the poling platform, and I pushed us off the shallow stuff. We didn't pole but about 30 seconds, and here comes two that were probably. I mean, he caught one of them, but they were both around 30. Not giants, about 30 inches long or so. So we weren't fishing for 30 seconds when he hooked up to the first one, and then after he got that one in, it's my turn. So I jumped up there, and he poled, and we probably didn't pole at about 20 or 30 yards, and I caught one that was 40 and a half inches. But there was a school of them. There was a school of about 5 or 6 of them, and so yeah, the fishing's good. The fishing's good. Uh, so if y'all want to come down, man. But anyway, I've still got a ton of footage uh, that I'm going through. I was gonna try to make one long video from y'all's trip, but there's so much footage. And I actually started working on it. Oh, I'm sorry. So what we're doing, y'all, by the way, we're turning this fur around so it's pointing out towards the front of the hook, which I know is weird, but y'all watch what I'm doing, and you'll see what I'm gonna do. So I've got so much footage from y'all's trip down here that I have to go through. And I've went through a lot of it. I really wish we would have got that giant one in whenever he said, well, you know what he said. He said he was going to smoke that. You know what? I wish we would have got that one in because that was pretty epic when he said that and then hooked into it. But yeah, that was a good trip, man. That was a really good trip. So I'm just putting a little bit of chartreuse right here at the beginning. But yeah, so March is good. I'm booked the first and second, which is this coming weekend. I'm not loaded in March. I mean, I've got several trips, but I'm not like loaded down in March. But Mardi Gras is coming up, and usually at Mardi Gras you get people coming down. So I'll usually book some trips around Mardi Gras. Um, April I got several trips right now. Now May, it starts heating up in May. Uh, as far as the temperatures, and the fishing is really good in May. Also, it starts heating up. So, but it's not too hot yet, so you can still fish pretty much all day in May. When summertime hits, the fishing is really good. But the thing about it is the charters slow down. It gets so hot, people just don't want to fish all day. And when I do fish, we're usually coming in during the summertime. We're usually coming back in uh, a little after lunch or something because most people just can't take all that heat sitting out there all day. But yes, sir, the fishing is really good. I'm glad you're watching the video, by the way. I just, for some reason, I was telling these other people that were watching that for some reason at night is when I want to get in here and start tying flies for some reason. So we're going to take some of this white. Again, this is not very long crafting fur, so this might not look perfect. I ran out of my long fur, y'all, but we're gonna wrap this. I need to buy some more long fur. If I wasn't fishing the next couple of days, I would go buy some, but I'm gonna try to fish next couple of days. All right, like that. I may try it was fun 3. Yes, sir. Yep, that's right. So I ended up finding a bunch of somebody was selling a bunch of stuff on eBay, and I finally ended up winning an auction, and that's how I started. But But I have tied, here I can show you. And this is just some of them now because I've actually given away a bunch of flies to other guides already. But every fly on that side I've tied. So, so I've tied a lot. Everybody said when you start tying, it gets addicting. So, all right, y'all. So as you can see, we got some white right here and we got some chartreuse right here. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a straw like this right here, y'all. And we're gonna push that over. Just like that. And then we're gonna build a little, they call it a thread dam. We're gonna take the thread like this right here, y'all, and wrap it right here at the front of the fly. And what that's gonna do, it's gonna keep that thread, I mean not the thread, it's gonna keep that that white and chartreuse craft fur right there. It's gonna keep it pushed back, y'all. Just like that. So when I let go of it, if I did it halfway right, it should stay. Yeah, like that. So now what we'll do, we'll go ahead and throw some knots in this. Finish that off. And then we'll throw some eyeballs in here and make it look cool. So I'm gonna take the little what-you-call-it right here. But yes, sir. It's good in the spring. The only thing with springtime, just like everywhere else in the country, you start getting winds. So if y'all do decide to come down, let me know what days you're thinking about. You can text me or whatever, and call, whatever you want to do. And let me know what days y'all are thinking about so we can look at the weather. I don't want y'all to come all the way down here and the weather be. Y'all got lucky. Y'all got really lucky for y'all's last trip. But I don't want y'all to come down here and the weather be bad, because uh, that's why when people do come, it's better to book and fish at least 2 days, but usually around 3. So if you do get a day of bad weather, you know, at least you get to fish some other days. But even though we've been having a lot of bad weather lately, like a lot of high winds and rain, we've been smoking the fish. I mean, obviously the fly fishing is tough, but we've at least been going out spinning rod fishing and smoking them. I had a charter the other day. It was freezing. Actually, my past couple of charters I did, it was freezing cold, and man, we smoked them. All right, y'all, we're gonna throw some eyeballs on here. Got a little bit of white right there. I'm gonna cut off a little bit of white right there that I don't like. I'm just kind of shaping up the fly real quick, y'all. And then after I get it fancy looking, because you know how those redfish are, they're going to come up to it and totally take a lot of time and look at it before they ever eat it. I'm just kidding. Mr. Allen knows if it goes by a redfish, he's going to smoke it. All right, so that looks pretty good. It's not my best fly job, tie job ever, but it looks pretty good. All right, we're going to throw some eyeballs on here. I'll tell you what, Mr. Allen, I got to get another vise. Uh-oh. Okay, I thought my battery was getting too low, but I'm good. This vise I got, it's an older vise, and it's just getting worn out. All right, we're going to throw some eyeballs on here real quick, y'all. eyeballs. And I just bought these actually from a craft store. I mean, you can go to a fly, you can buy, you know, eyeballs at a fly shop or whatever. But I literally just bought these at a craft store. And you want to go back just a little ways from your hook and kind of set them in the center. And these are adhesive, but I also have ones. These are actually kind of big. I probably should have used my other ones, but it's fine. Honestly, as soon as a bull red or a jack of veil hits it, the eyes are probably going to be ripped off anyway. Okay, after you kind of get those started, you want to go back with your glue. I'm going to use a Solarez thin right here. And we're going to kind of hold that back and put it around the top of the eyes and let that sink down. Sorry, y'all, can't really. Let that sink down into the fly behind the eyes. And we're also going to take, and I like to kind of work it up the fly right here. And get like a little glue kind of nose on the fly to help kind of hold that shape. And then help hold the shape and of course hold the eyeballs on there. And I'm going to go ahead and put some around the thread right there too. I'm going to turn this up. Actually, we'll go ahead and hit that with the UV light right there. I got some of these. I wish I had them right here, but they're in my truck. I got some of these I've tied that look perfect. I mean, just beautiful. This one is not my best one ever, but I'm gonna blame it on I was live on YouTube, so that's what I'm gonna blame it on. That's what we'll go with. I'll cut a little bit of that off just to. All right. Same thing. I'm gonna go right here by the eye so that glue sinks in to hold that eye on. And I usually flip this over, but since I'm live on YouTube, I'm gonna try to do it like that and not flip it over. All right, now we're gonna add a little glue to the head, just making that head a little harder. So this fly, like I said, this is for open water. When that water temperature heats on up and all those big bull reds and jack Crevalle, they'll actually get out there in the open water off the beaches. And during the fall, you don't catch them as much off the beaches. They're still out there in that area. I mean, early fall you do, but the later it gets in the fall, they're going to be more around the islands and stuff out there, like Mr. Allen when he fished with me. They're going to be more around the islands and stuff out there instead of being along the actual beaches itself. But here, pretty soon, when it heats up, they're going to be out in the open water along the beaches. And You go out there with these fishy looking flies and sling them out there, and you catch big bulls and jack crevalle in open water. I mean, when I say open water, you're out there in 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 feet of water, whatever, with those big bull reds and jack crevalle coming up out there, and man, it's a blast. All right, so I'm just getting some. I see that this stuff right here cures really quick. It's already getting kind of dried on there. I usually do a couple of. I usually go over it again. Like I said, first jack that grabs it's probably gonna rip the eyes off of it anyway, but the eyes don't really matter. You don't. I got some of these I tie that I honestly don't even have the eyes on there. It don't really matter. You got the color of it, the shape of it. It looks like a fish. The fish, those fish are gonna eat it up. Those jack and bull reds will eat it up. All right. So definitely not my best fly I've ever tied. But y'all kind of get it looks better on this side. I guess because that's the side I was working on the most. Other side toward the camera, but that's it, y'all. So when this is in the water, obviously this will all kind of flow back like this right here. And take the shape of a fish. So for those bull reds and jack, you'll sling it out there and do some strips where that fly's coming through the water. And if they're there, it's not going to come through the water very long before one of them eats it up. And that's about it, y'all, on that one. I know I'm up kind of, what time is it? I don't even know. Yeah, it's 11:20. I'm up kind of late, but whatever. I took a little bit of energy stuff to keep me up. So, all right, y'all. So we did that one. Tonight. This is the first one we tied tonight. It's more of a little shrimpy looking little pattern. Little deer tail, some flash. Threw some shrimp eyes on there. A little bit of feather on there, and some white crack wrap, and then eyes, heavier eyes so it sinks down fast and gets to the fish. And then can't go wrong, of course, with purple and black down here. So then we tied this right here, which had a little bit of rabbit tail, or not rabbit tail, but rabbit fur. Threw a little bit of purple and gold flash on that. Had a purple feather in there actually. And just for the heck of it, I threw some black and some purple crack wrap on there with purple eyes on that one. But anyway, y'all, I guess that's about it. I'm gonna clean up all this mess I have, and that is about it, y'all. But I'm getting prepared slowly. Like here's a big old giant. So I'm getting prepared for the open water fish for when it starts heating up. So here's a really big, bull red and jack fly. I'm just kind of getting ready for the summertime, man. Here's another really big fly. Something really big, push a lot of water for when those jack and bulls get there off the beaches. Sling those things out there and just hold on tight when it goes by them. So, all right, y'all. Thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I got probably 500 something videos on my channel. Most of it's fly fishing instead of fly tying, or fly fishing and spinning rod fishing. So I guess that's it. Thank you, Mr. Allen. Let me know when you might want to come so I can make sure. If you give me like a range or something like that, first of all, I gotta make sure I'm not booked, and let me know so we got good weather. So, but all right, y'all. Thanks for watching, everybody, and subscribe and all that. Thank y'all.